So there's really no effort to be what you are. You're already dead without any efforts being made, without any steps being taken, without any uh, investigation. You're already dead. That's what you are. It's what you are is shining, is self-luminous, is is as it is. So what seems to be searching, going around, doing this and that, can also be seen as just what appears in it. It can be it's dreaming to be separate from itself. So it's just a dream. It's just an imagination. It's already not there. There's nobody to find this. There's nobody to do anything about this because there's only this. There's no effort here to be made. That which is looking doesn't make any efforts. There may be something that seems to be imposed in the looking that will seem to say, I'm looking. But the looking itself doesn't say, I'm looking. It's just looking, it's effortless. And it's not somebody looking,
There's something
it's
that
just looking.
notices, but there's something that notices the looking sometimes. What's happening notices the looking sometimes.
Yeah.
Maximizing that.
But the one who
longer
says, yes. Okay, can you continue? Yeah.
longer periods of noticing the
Yeah.
looking are happening,
Yeah.
which makes space for the light, which is everywhere always. It makes space for the noticing of the light.
Yeah.
So that doesn't come from effort. Exactly. But it does come from practice. It does appear to come from practice.
Yeah,
Like all things, it
at
grows
times,
like a garden, like all things, like a tree or a garden. It starts small and gets bigger and bigger and grows a little bit each time.
yeah. I mean, expansion, there may be expansion happening. Yeah. And at times, the local seeing or the local looking may be seen as well when there's searching happening. And that may seem to expand. And it can be seen that it's just this seeing or this looking is just everywhere. It's not just local. The locality was just imaginary. Same as you imagine that today is Tuesday. There's Tuesday, but you can't find Tuesday because it's just in the mind. It's imagine. It can only be in the imagination.
You're going in and out, and Kosi. About where you were out for about 20 seconds.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. So this is not a human being. It's not uh it's not a thing that can be pointed to. It can never really be held in view. It can never really be grasped. What seems to be the finder who wants to find it can never really do it because the finder is also an imagination appearing in it. So there's no finder and there's no finding it because there's only it. So it can only be it dreaming itself to be something other than it. It cannot be anything really that is separate from it. So there's no separation, there's just totality. And everything that seems to be happening is already an expression of that which is not happening. So everything that seems to be happening is seen from that space which is not happening. That backdrop and that which seems to be happening is the same. If there's anger appearing, where anger is seen from, that is not angry, it's just space, spacious. And that's what you are. That space where anger, frustration, uh, weakness, hopelessness is seen from. It's just there stable, doesn't move, doesn't go anywhere. Boredom appears and disappears in it. Worry appears and disappears in it. Seeking appears in it and disappears in it. But it's as it is, it remains the same. It is the changeless, I should say, maybe reality, the unchanging, the unmoving, the one that is not disturbed. A huge noise doesn't bother it.
Another little 15-second gap. Huge noise does not bother it, you were saying.
Yeah. Huge noise does not bother it. Uh, any movement that may seem to happen, this does not it does not get disturbed. Sickness may appear and disappear in it. You know, so there's so much power there. There's so much power when you remain as that, not as the idea or as an imagination that appears in it, or identify with the appearances. When you remain as that, there's so much power. Anything may appear and disappear. Just to hold that space and just be that space which you already are. Anything, it will seem like magic. Anything that appears, it is seen. It is always seen that it appears and disappears. It doesn't last. It's more like you're watching a TV show. Anything may happen here. It doesn't touch you. So that is always with you. That's your resting place. This does not worry. This does not get angry. This can never be hurt. This can never be destroyed. This can never die because it was never born. It is the unborn, the undying. It is ageless, fearless. And self-luminous. It shines without efforts. It is what you are, not the bundle of information. I'm referring to thoughts and information that's in all those ideas that I'm a human being, I was born, I'm living life, I grew up in a certain location. That's just a bundle of information. That itself as it is can never understand anything, can never get anything, can never find anything because it's just an information. It's not what you are. When the baby is born, it has no information. There's nothing. It's just spaciousness. It's just watching, but nobody's watching. There's no yesterday. There's no tomorrow. That's just what is. So when that is recognized, when it's recognized itself that it has never been an individual, then there's so much enjoyment that the activity is enjoyed. Mm. The story is enjoyed. The character or superficial character, which is never there, it's enjoyed. Mm. There's so much effortlessness that may seem to happen, or synchronicity, if I should say. So nothing is really happening unless thoughts say something is happening. So everything is okay. Everything is beautiful because everything is empty. The doing, they may be a doing, there may be a movement, but the doing itself has no doer. The movement itself has no mover. There's no one moving. The thinking, even thinking itself, has no thinker. So the thinking itself is just the way it is, and the movement is just the way it is, and the doing is just the way it is. But there's no doer, there's no mover, and there's no thinker. So you've never done anything. You've never been angry. You've never been frustrated. You've never suffered. You've never done anything. That's just what happens or seems to be happening. There's nobody behind it. It's just an appearance. Doesn't mean anything. Or I should say, it's neither meaningful or meaningless. It's just the way it is. It's not personal. So everything is okay because everything doesn't belong to anyone. Life doesn't belong to anyone. Life is just life. There's nobody who's living it. It expresses in an unlimited way. So when the body collapses, it is always noticed that there wasn't anybody. So it's just life. So when it is seen that there's nobody, it is also seen that there are no others. There were no others. And also right now it is seen that there's no difference between the dead and the living. Because in the first place there were no people who were living. So therefore there are no people who are dead. It's just life. So there's no death. It's just life. Life is one. It's not separate. So everything is beautiful.